Okay, thank you. So we will start the first panel, but before that, I'm delighted to have two early career scholars who have messages for us. And the first is Ms. Anna Lauenburger, a candidate of a Master of Arts in Polar Law, University of Akureyri, Iceland, German as a nationality, and she has been selected as the early career scholar with the scholarship from the KOPRI and the Kobe PCRC. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Anna Lauenburger, and I'm a graduate student at the University of Akureyri, Iceland, and I'm currently writing my master thesis in polar law on the rights of nature in Antarctica. Before I begin with my message, I want to thank the organizers for their support and for making it possible for me to come here and to participate in this event. It's really an honor. In recent years, young people around the world, inspired by movements like Fridays for Future, have raised their voices to demand meaningful and immediate climate action. Antarctica is deeply interconnected with the rest of the world. Its ocean and wind currents, coupled with the growing threat of melting ice sheets, place it at the heart of the climate crisis. Changes in its environment amplify global climate impacts, threatening ecosystems, vulnerable communities, and future generations. The Antarctic Treaty System stands as a model of international collaboration, yet its effectiveness is tested when scientific recommendations are ignored or watered down. For example, despite compelling evidence from scientists, including those represented by ASOC, the protection of emperor penguins, a species facing existential threats, remains unresolved. Since the 44th ATCM in Berlin, this issue has been discussed without meaningful action. The 48th ATCM in Hiroshima next year must not repeat this latter pattern of delay. It must be a space where scientific expertise informs decisive policy. Listen to the scientists who dedicate their lives to understanding these fragile ecosystems. Listen to ASOC's calls for urgent protective measures. Follow the intended meaning of the precautionary principle. The world leaders have agreed to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, 2024 was already the first year to pass this 1.5 degree limit. The science is clear, the recommendations are clear, and the time for action is now. The youth whose future depend on these decisions demand leadership prioritizing the environment over compromises and trade-offs. If the current consensus model hinders progress, it is time to explore reforms that enable the ATS to function as an effective and proactive decision-making body while maintaining its principles of peace and collaboration. Hiroshima has the potential to become a landmark ATCM, a moment when leaders choose to act boldly, guided by science, for the preservation of Antarctica and the planet. Let us ensure that the decisions made there reflect not just promises, but result in transformative actions rooted in scientific integrity and a commitment to future generations and the health of the environment. Time is not on our side, but we still have the power to act. Let us make Hiroshima a turning point and not a missed opportunity. Thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to great discussions today. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Then we have an academic presentation by Ms. Ridzanna ABDULGAFUR, LL.M candidate, Graduate School of International Cooperation Studies, G6, Kobe University, Japan. She is a practicing lawyer from the Republic of the Philippines. So, Rini, please.
I am Ridzanna ABDULGAFUR. I have analyzed the number of and the subject matters covered in the document submitted by Japan to the ATCM and CEP, as well as the specific mention of country Japan in the ATCM and CEP final reports. The tables are distributed in printed form. From this analysis, I have some conclusions and suggestions to the participants. As Table 1.1 shows, over 63 years, Japan has submitted a few working papers putting forward Japan's proposals. If one includes the information papers, as Table 1-2 shows, Japan's papers address a variety of subject matters, in particular science issues, followed by the operation of the ATS and CP, including Secretariat's budget issues. Table 2 reflects numbers and subject matters on which Japan was mentioned in the final reports. The specific mention of a treaty party name in the final reports usually indicates either an individual view on the specific issue or a reservation in relation to the consensus reached. In this regard, Japan was not mentioned or mentioned only a few in most of the ATCM reports, except for the period of 10 years from 2007 to 2016. I am still analyzing why this is the case. For example, Japan made its views on the subject matter of area protection, the nature of which are seeking clarification of the specifics of the revised management plans. Another example is in 2023, where Japan needed to reserve its position regarding the legal relationship between the UNFCCC and Paris Agreement in relation to the Helsinki Declaration on Climate Change in Antarctica. At the same time, Japan still does not have a formal Antarctic policy, publicizing it as a single document dedicated to all matters related to Antarctica. In May 2026, Japan will host the most important meeting on Antarctic governance, the 48th ATCM in Hiroshima. I think this may be the opportune moment for Japan to develop its own Antarctic policy. Previously, State Secretary for Foreign Affairs Hashimoto, probably the highest political figure attending the ATCM from Japan, made a statement in 2009 at the occasion of 50th anniversary of the Antarctic Treaty. But this statement was not a formal Antarctic policy, except for reconfirming its commitment to maintain the basic principles of the Antarctic Treaty, namely peaceful use, freedom of scientific investigation, and international cooperation. My expectation for Japan's Antarctic policy in 2026, it would indicate a stronger emphasis on the effects of climate change in the Antarctica and how it relates to the Antarctic science and scientific cooperation, as well as the importance of keeping peace and effective consensus decision-making under the Antarctic Treaty in the changing power balance in the international community. From Japan's papers and statements, I can extract some possible elements for future Japan's Antarctic policy. First, Japan's consistent support for prohibition of mineral resource activities in Antarctica, co-authoring resolutions about this in 2016 and 2023. Second, Japan's support for the increase in the number of consultative parties in 2016, saying that such increase contributes to the dissemination of the principle of the Antarctic Treaty and Protocol. Third, Japan's interest in promoting good governance of the Secretariat, for example, by ensuring the efficiency of its financial resources and establishing an appropriate intersessional consultation process with the support of the Secretariat. In conclusion, there seems already some key elements of Japan's Antarctic policy being expressed through its practice under ATCM. And having a streamlined and a single document on Japan's Antarctic policy would establish a clearer and coherent set of objectives for its activities in Antarctica. This would enable Japan to better align its scientific, environmental, and diplomatic goals, ensuring that its efforts in the region are consistent and strategically focused. Thank you.